It's time for another podcast. And we at The Enthusiast really do think that you'll enjoy this.
Yes! Oh my god!
What is up, everybody? I am one of your hosts, Will Zabo. Alongside me,
Who am I?
the living legend, Jesse Nazario.
How you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
How's your week?
It's been good. I want to give a shout out to one of our friends. It was his birthday yesterday.
Tiger.
Wasn't going to say his name.
Oh,
so
the
we
cat.
just said an animal.
Tony.
Tony. No, it was Tiger. So happy late birthday. Hope many come soon. He's like 50, I think, now.
Yeah.
He's old. Old people. Besides that, nothing much. I downloaded Super Mario Land
Okay.
for the original Game Boy on my 3DS,
Okay.
and it's hard. I die a lot.
Enjoying it as much, or?
I am enjoying it. I just you kind of forget how hard these old school games were. I used to play this for my Game Boy, which means like terrible color, light. I couldn't see anything, and somehow I would succeed. And like now as an adult with like all the accommodations in the world, I'm like, this is really difficult.
It's like me with Mega Man when the Legacy Collection came out.
No, hate that game. It's a terrible game. On the side note, though, I did collect all 3 starters that you could get in Pokemon Yellow, so I was
Nice.
really happy about that. When I got the Squirtle, which was the last one to get, I was like, Psh, I'm G now. But it's one of the old school Pokemon, so I'm going to go back and like level them up. So I'm just sitting there.
Which means you walk in a patch of grass.
Yeah, over and over.
And you swap between Pokemon.
Which was really annoying because, you know, in Yellow, you start off with Pikachu, who was not meant to be a starter.
No.
You know what I mean?
And who sucked against the first gym.
Yeah, exactly. So I literally sat for like a day and walked in tall grass until I got him to a high enough level where he could actually inflict some damage on the Onix. And it was terrible. It took forever, and it still was a close battle after that. So yeah, it was tough. But I think I got him at like level 45 right now, and he's still not where I want him to. Like my Charizard by this point was like wiping everybody out in one shot. No.
No.
Obviously, Pikachu was not meant to be a starter.
Did you evolve your Pikachu yet?
No, refuse.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're ashing it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I beat Uncharted.
Ooh,
Um,
that's a game.
yeah, Lost Legacy. I really liked it, actually.
I enjoyed it.
It was good. Started playing Destiny 2.
Ooh.
Visually, it doesn't look too much better than Destiny 1, but they said that they were going to release a patch for 4K TVs so that it can be in 4K.
So nice. Thanks, Patch.
I will say this, though. They definitely did make the game better from the first Destiny. The story's a lot better. I don't want to talk about the gameplay because I really don't think there was any issue with the gameplay in the first Destiny. I think Destiny 1 felt like a really good shooter, and they continue that with Destiny 2.
Play like Halo. A better polished Halo. That's
Yeah.
about it.
So it's kind of hard to be like, yeah, you made the gunplay feel even better because it feels the same to me. I know some people say it does, and I'm like, I think you're just such a fanboy that you just want to say everything's better. But
It's tough, man, because Destiny is not a bad game whatsoever. And you know what I mean? Like, I no issue with it. I just have such a hard-on for Borderlands that I will constantly hate on Destiny for no reason. Like, I'm the fanboy I hate on all the time. Like, oh, you're playing Destiny? Well, you know, Borderlands. But whatever, you know. So, I'm just, yeah. Borderlands.
yeah, you start playing that again.
I did, because Destiny came out. Everybody, like literally all my friends, it goes down the list and it was all like, Destiny 2, Destiny 2, Destiny 2. They got to Scott, which was playing Dying Light. And I was like, okay, I guess it's 2015. Then we went back down. I was
Good for
like,
you, Scott.
Good for you, Scott. Getting your hours out of Dying Lights.
I heard they're coming out with 10 more free DLC for Dying Light.
Yes, and he just paid for the DLC that came out, he was telling me. And he said he got like another 20 hours out of the game. So I think he bought it for like $20, and he's gotten like over 70 hours out of this.
Jesus.
It's ridiculous.
Good for him.
Yes. Well, managing your money right with games. But anyway, like I said, so I have no issue with Destiny 2. I think I'm just like, I looked at the gameplay when you were playing it last podcast, and I was like, man, this looks really good, actually. I was like, but all it really makes me want to do is go back to Borderlands, and I think it's that, like, you know, Borderlands in my blood. I just love that. That was like the first big multiplayer game I played like that, where I actually enjoyed playing the multiplayer, so I feel like I'd be cheating on Borderlands if I went to Destiny.
Okay.
Like it would catch me, you know, like in the closet,
Handsome Jack.
trapped in the closet. Get it?
With Handsome Jack.
Ooh, I do like Handsome Jack.
And the Butt Stallion.
Not what I'm drinking, sir.
Almost made you spew some soda.
The best thing that ever happened to Handsome Jack wasn't even in a real Borderlands game, was in Tales of Borderland, when he's talking to you as the spirit machine, and the idea bubble pops up where it's like he will remember that, and he's like, what the hell is that? And your character continues to talk, and he's like, are we just going to ignore the floating words that popped up? Best part of that game. So anyway, that was my week.
Yeah, I didn't really do much other than work. I really focused on Destiny because I really want to try to get to a point where I don't have to play it as much. You know, because it's a game that's constantly going to be getting new content and evolving. But I want to get to a point where, kind of like World of Warcraft, once you're raiding, you don't really need to get on other than to raid, really. Unless you're super hardcore into the game and you want to do all the daily stuff, you can, but...
Yeah, it's those are the two kind of players. You're either a raider or you're into it. Me personally, I don't want to start anything too big. That's another reason I went back to Borderlands, because the 15th Metroid comes out.
Okay.
And I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to keep everything slated so I can just, like me, my DS, and you know, a little alone time.
I gotcha. Yeah, Marvel's Capcom is also...
22nd.
Yeah, it's really close. It's 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then this Tuesday coming up, I have the XCOM 2 DLC.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm excited. We have a lot going on.
We do. I'm kind of getting a little about Marvel Capcom. I've seen the full roster of characters.
Yeah, as we talked about.
We'll talk about it more when the game gets released, but I think had I just been buying the regular edition, I would have been like, I'm excited. The fact that I'm getting the super duper, I'm going to take half your check edition, it's like, you better be good, man. You better be good.
Like I said, it's still upsetting that the new characters are the DLC. And...
I agree. I'm still mad about that.
But let's move on to
the news.
So we got a little bit of movie news. Actually, we don't really have too much news in general, but I'm sure we'll make it last the hour.
Oh, we always do.
If not over.
I'm telling you, we give people their money's worth. You know what I'm saying?
I really try to.
So it's like if they came in for a massage, if nobody's coming in for a while, we'll flip them around and hand them, you know, a little help in there, you know? You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to actually say the phrase, you know, happy time, but I'm just...
Happy ending.
Wasn't going to say it. See, you did it again, man. You constantly do this.
I'm sorry.
It's like I take it there and you just pass the line every time.
I'm trying to make sure we're on the same page.
You be the one where we're sitting there with the cops and you're like, I'm not saying I murdered the guy. I just wanted to see him go. And then you'd be like, yeah, we killed him. Like, wow, all right, that happened.
I'm trying to make sure we're on the same page.
I see that.
Anyway, Colin Trevorrow.
Yeah, you definitely said that right. Yeah,
Trevorrow.
Trevor.
It really throws you off.
I don't like it.
Because it's sorrow, but it's Trev in front of it.
I know. It's like, it looks like it should have ended at that first R, and then it's like, I'm going to keep going.
Yeah. So it just throws me off, like, saying it. It just seems like too many R's.
I agree with
Anyway, he's no longer going to be directing Star Wars Episode 9.
What?
Yeah. I don't really know.
Does anybody know why Disney chose 3 different directors for these films?
I honestly think they should have stuck with one going all the way through.
I'm just saying, as much as people like loved or hated Force Awakens, it was a decent film. Like,
I thought it was really good.
JJ did a good job. I wonder why he wasn't asked to come back for the next 2.
I'm curious if J.J. Abrams just didn't want to do more than one.
So I'm just saying it's weird. Like, I know that the original Star Wars movies were all 3 different directors, so maybe that's what they were going for.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But it seems like at least the last 2 will so far have the same director. Because it does seem like, what's his name? Arian Johnson. He will be, as of right now, he will be directing
It's really
episode
funny. It's
9.
like the Aryan race, Aryan, but then Johnson.
The worst part would be if he's not even white.
That'd be great. So he's got a uphill battle to hit, man. This movie has got to be incredible.
Yeah, because apparently him directing episode 9, it depends on how well episode 8 does.
Which is, you got so many things going against you. Force Awakens were so well received, so people are going to be comparing it there. Rogue One was the last one we've seen, which everybody and their mother loved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then on top of that, you had a lot of Star Wars fans. As much as I don't want to make fun of our listening group, are very jaded. And I don't like those films because this is what happened. So like it's an uphill battle. Hopefully people like it.
I think it's also hard ever since Disney bought it because a lot of Star Wars fans seem to like to refer back to the books that are no longer canon.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people like to be like, oh, well, that's not how it happened. Well, technically, what you're saying didn't happen.
Yes, yes. What do you think? I think 8's going to be good. It looks great. The trailer was pretty well cut. I think it's really weird that it comes out in a few months and we...
No, nothing?
Yeah.
And it's really...
Now thinking about it, it's 2 months away. It's December, right?
Yeah.
Wow. And we got one trailer.
The funny thing is, we got one trailer, and it really showed
You have no idea what it's about.
No combat. Like, I don't even really... I'm not going to lie, I kind of forgot about episode 8 sometimes. Like, I just tend to forget that's coming
That's
this
because
year.
at least Force Awakens, we got a couple trailers, and there was a little bit of... Now, granted, that also, we had no idea what that was about either, Force Awakens.
That's true as well.
No idea. We didn't even know Mark Hamill wasn't in the movie until we all seen it in theaters. I remember turning to my wife, like, halfway through the movie, and, like, I guess Luke's just not going to show up, huh? You know what I mean? So, who knows? What I think will piss a lot of people off if it follows Empire, like Force Awakens followed A New Hope. That will piss a lot of people off.
I can agree with that.
I think what you have to really do is focus on Luke, because obviously that's all we wanted in the last film. So you really got to get that Luke and Rey relationship going. I'm really hoping that Finn doesn't become a back character, because I really liked him.
I really like Finn, and I hope Poe Dameron doesn't become like a forgotten character as well. Because I really like the chemistry between him and Finn.
And Giant Woman that didn't get to shine at all in the first
Captain
one.
Phasma.
Yeah,
They did say she's going to have a bigger part in this one.
Well, I also want to see Boba Fett come back, man. You know what I'm saying? Why not? Just do it for me. Do it for the Vine.
I ain't gonna do it.
Just do it.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that I can really get excited for episode 8. It's kind of hard to even get excited for 9 when
8's not even out. Yeah, I agree.
And it's weird because I love Star Wars. So part of me is always going to be like, oh, I'm excited because it's Star Wars. But at the same time, it's just kind of like I haven't really seen anything.
They haven't shown anything.
Like I said, I keep forgetting that it's even a thing that's happening this year because they haven't really talked about it.
It is really odd. You know what I mean? We got way more on Rogue One than we did this film.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I said, that's what my most difficult thing is. I know a lot of people saying it, but I agree. Rogue One is my favorite Star Wars movie I've ever seen to this date, so it's going to be hard to whatever comes next. Just because I thought Rogue One was probably one of the most flawless movies I've seen in a long time.
Okay.
Did you see that ending with Vader? Oh, man.
I did.
I would have paid full price for that and been satisfied.
That was really epic.
That was a good scene. Let's go.
I have a couple complaints with that movie. I wouldn't say it's my favorite Star Wars movie.
Well, we're all entitled to an opinion, I think Pokemon's one of the greatest RPGs ever made. You
It's not even in my top 10.
are dumb. See the difference? See the difference? You know what I mean? I leave it all up to people decide it.
I see what you did. And then we're talking about sequels, so this is actually perfect.
What are you talking about? Is it coming up?
All right, we just need to talk about it.
No, this is a real story. I can't make this up. I texted my wife the other day and I was like, it's getting really good reviews. We should go see it. And she's like, what is? I was like, it. It is getting really good reviews. And she's like, what's getting good reviews? And I was like, in the movie. It's getting good reviews. The one about the clown. She's like, oh, we should see it. I couldn't believe it took 3 tries.
The same thing happened with me and my girlfriend. We were sitting on the couch together. She looks over to me and she's like, oh, Nicole said it's really good. I was like, what is? It. What? What's It? The movie It. With the I was like, oh god, I can't.
What's hilarious is that never happened to me. The years of that other, like the TV movie, never happened to me.
And
But
I said that to her too. I was like, I can't. It really upsets me that that's a thing. But I really want to see it too. It has gotten good reviews.
reviews have been great everywhere.
Yeah, I know.
IGN, who's really usually harsh too on films, like they're not games, they hate it usually, and they even gave it a great review.
As of right now, we're gonna maybe try to go see it next weekend.
We were shooting for yesterday. We were shooting for Friday, and then I went to the hospital, and then we were shooting for Saturday, and that didn't happen. So we were hoping, I don't know, maybe next weekend we're gonna shoot to go.
That's
see it.
what we're hoping for.
I got all these kids there.
So maybe next weekend, if we both seen it, we can do like a spoiler cast.
I would try to go together. That'd be nice.
Ooh, that would be
We
nice.
haven't done that in a while.
We haven't.
Was it Suicide Squad was the last thing we seen together?
No, we saw Logan.
Oh, we did. I fell asleep.
Yes. But It, anyway, apparently the ending of It leaves it open for a second chapter. How do you feel about this? I usually don't like sequels to horror movies.
I agree.
Very few do I like. What's the one that I watched?
The Conjuring.
Conjuring. I really liked the first and second one of that.
I also feel like that helped that it wasn't an exact sequel. It was the only thing related in that movie was the investigators.
I agree.
You know what I mean? And that's what made The Conjuring 2 feel fresh. It was a different family, different story, different location, different country.
Yeah.
As it comes for It, I watched a review, and one of them, I hope it's not too spoilery. I guess it's not, but he said, the book focuses on them as adults and kids. This movie is all kids.
Yes.
So I figure if they are setting it up for a sequel, that would make sense because they only technically did half the book, if that's the case.
I did hear that as well, that about 80% of the movie, they're kids.
Yeah.
We don't really see them as adults as much, and they do a really good job of sharing screen time with the kids. I've heard a lot of good things about this movie, so
I did
really
too.
would like
I heard
to
the
see it.
kids were all fantastic in it. You know what I mean? And me and you've had that conversation before. It's a lot to do with kid actors. One of the things that made Stranger Things so watchable was the fact that kid actors were incredible.
One of our biggest problems with the Jurassic Park series are always the kids.
Hate them kids, man. Hate them kids.
But I heard Pennyworth is also really good, the actor that played him. I don't remember the guy's name, so I'm sorry.
But you're good for him, man. You followed up after Tim Curry.
Yeah.
That's tough. Okay, you know what I mean? Tim Curry is a hard act to follow. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
He hooked up with Miss Piggy?
No.
Yeah. Muppets Treasure Island. There's a joke that makes a hint that him and Miss Piggy had a thing going on. I was like, that makes sense. You know what I mean?
I don't like that.
If Miss Piggy were to get with a human, it would be Tim Curry.
That kind of makes sense, I guess.
I guess so.
I don't know why I put It in between my third news.
You gotta change it up for people, man.
I don't like when the flow of the feng shui is thrown off. I like to keep the Star Wars and Disney stuff together. I like to have the other stuff together.
Sometimes
Now I just throw a rock in the middle of the road.
Sometimes
and it's like,
you gotta get out of your comfort zone. You know what I'm saying?
I don't like
You
it.
gotta get out of your comfort zone.
Did you change the light bulb?
No.
It looks like a different light bulb.
Really? Might have been burning out.
Yeah. I don't know why that just occurred to me now. But anyway, we'll talk about change now. Netflix. They're doing it.
I don't like it, man.
They're getting rid of Star Wars
Oh,
and
Netflix is doing it. Like it's Netflix's fault.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I mean, not Netflix. I'm sorry, Disney. Disney is doing it.
Thank you.
Netflix is losing it.
Yes.
Their mind.
Well, I mean, you're taking a huge chunk out of Netflix. When I saw that note, I was just bored. Oh, by the way, for those who don't know what we're talking about, Disney and Marvel is pulling out of Netflix, so they are starting their own streaming service in 2019.
Yes.
It's going to be all Disney and Marvel.
And Star Wars.
And Star Wars, of course.
Yes.
My question is, though, Disney owns a lot of other studios, too. I'm wondering if they're pulling those. Miramax is Disney owned? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? ABC,
Well, see, I'm also curious, does that mean the Marvel Netflix originals, is Netflix losing those?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Netflix obviously had a part in those.
You think? So there's a lot of questions. My issue is, and I told you this before, this is where this is starting to feel really selfish kind of thing. One of the things I liked about Hulu and Netflix is they were each other's kind of
I press the buttons on my legs.
I see that.
of the
They're
table.
each other's competition. And to me, and even Amazon Prime, the fact that all three of them have their own original series, stuff like that, kind of makes it so each one of them takes it to the next step. You know what I mean? And that's why I enjoy having Hulu and Amazon, or Netflix, because competition's good. But when you pull all your stuff from, streaming sites, try to come up with your own thing, I feel like that's just being a selfish jerk here now.
I just feel like it's slowly getting to a point where
Now
I'm
the
gonna,
kids section's gonna be gone on Netflix. It's gonna be Sonic the Hedgehog on there.
the Mega Man animated series. But Backyardigans.
It's Disney.
Backyardigans? I thought it was Nickelodeon.
No, that's isn't it? I don't know.
No, I don't know either. But my kid's not old enough to watch that stuff yet. But and I didn't mind at first when things like Netflix and Hulu started, because you're kind of like, I don't need cable anymore. I'll just watch everything on this. It's starting to slowly get to the point where you're going to be paying the same price you were paying
Absolutely.
for cable.
I think about it this way: I pay for Hulu, Netflix, and WWE Network as it stands right now. That's $30 a month right there alone. And now, who knows what Disney's going to be charging? I'm going to be paying almost $40 to $50. I could be for all these streaming services. Like, sheesh,
Yeah.
man.
Now, I probably won't get the Disney one only because I buy all of Disney's movies anyway, so I don't really think I need it. Now, where I'm going to run into the issue is if they do Disney... I'm going to call it Disney Network. We're just going to call it that. Disney Network Original Series, where they're only going to be something that they...
The only way to me this would be worth it is one of my biggest issues with Disney and Marvel is movies never come up really quickly on it.
Yes.
Like, I'm more likely to watch it on HBO first or pick it up, like you said, to watch it. Where other films, I literally will just wait for them to come to Netflix because they come really quickly. Like The Founder with Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
That seems like it was just in theaters and it landed on Netflix. So if they say, hey, with this streaming service, you'll get to watch it before it comes out on Blu-ray or DVD, that would be an incentive to be like, oh man, maybe I should pick that up.
Like when it goes up digital live, it's already on there.
You know what I mean? Like,
agree
I
with
haven't
that.
got to see Spider-Man Homecoming, you know what I mean? And let's say, I know it's not coming out 2019, but let's say they say, hey, Spider-Man Homecoming comes out, in May, but, you can get it, like you said, a week early on digital or this streaming service. I'm like, oh, that's something special. I'd watch that so I can see Spider-Man Homecoming finally. See Michael Keaton. Somehow he just landed in two of my references. Weird. I love you, Michael. So
He means M-Dog the last time he says he loved you.
sure. Sure. He builds one website, and all of a sudden I gotta love the guy. I guess that's what we're doing. But either way, it annoys me because, you know what I mean? And this is just apparent to me. My kids watch a lot of Disney on Netflix. And you know what I mean? Now you're cutting what they can watch now, and I think that's a little unfair.
I agree.
And as a parent, I don't want them in my face all the time. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's easy to stick in front of a TV. And for those people that say, I'm never going to do that with my kids, you're a liar. And you just don't know it yet. Because sometimes you need to put your kid in front of a TV.
I agree.
And then go cry.
My son loves watching me play video games.
Oh, that's normal too. You know what? It gets awful though because you're gonna want to play like certain games at certain times.
But you just shouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was playing Telltale Walking Dead, and literally my son came in when like somebody was getting their throat ripped out, and he was like, ah, and I screamed, he screamed, the girl on the TV screamed. So I'm not allowed to play certain games when he's up.
No Evil Within 2 for you.
There it is.
Let's move on though. We don't have to go over Destiny 2. We kind of already talked about that.
I mean, we did. Overall, I just want for our fans that care about Zabo's opinion in games, would you say it's a must-play? We'll give you 3 options, okay? Skip, rent, own. Which one?
Oh, man. So, if you really like shooters, Destiny 2 is a phenomenal shooter. Feels great. The story's really good. If you didn't play the first Destiny, then this is also a really good place to jump in.
Really?
Yeah, they kind of refreshed everything. I would say you don't have to play First Destiny to play this one. And even if you played the First Destiny, if you loved the First Destiny, you're going to love this one. It's more Destiny.
What if you just liked it a little bit?
I would say if you liked Destiny, rent it as a to give it a chance, and I think you'll really like it and pick it, and you'll want to pick it up.
All right.
The problem I have with the game is they still only have 3 classes, and they're the same 3 classes that were in the first game: Titan, Hunter, Warlock.
I can see that. You know what? And that's my issue with Borderlands. The lack of classes in it. Yeah.
So it kind of feels like, okay, I played Destiny 1. This already kind of feels like it could have just been a really big DLC patch for Destiny 1, because everything else is pretty much still the same. So
I will say, you said visually the game looks about the same, but this, just looking at some of the screenshots people shared online, overall, like, the gameplay and all that does look very similar to the first one, but I looked at a lot of the close-up details, and it does look a lot better to me.
I will say they changed. So a lot of the stuff in Destiny 1 looked very like it has a gloss matte over it. Like everything looked very glossy.
Like
and
when you
shiny.
first wake up in the morning.
But everything now looks more like it kind of has like textures to it. It does look more like, instead of it looking like a futuristic thing, everything kind of looks a little more worn down and like it's been worn. Like you're wearing hand-me-downs almost.
I like it.
It all looks like it has age to it, which I think is good. You know, it really it's more appealing to the armor. It doesn't look like it just came right off the shelf at a shop.
That does make a big difference. Looked living, a future that looked living. I can
Yeah.
understand that. I keep trying to scroll the notes up, and it keeps saying, "Hey, do you want me to send him a happy emoji?" And I'm like, "No. I want to smile at you. I'll just do that in real life." Technology tells me what I want to do nowadays. So either way, though, going back to this, you said if you like first persons, it's probably one you should check out.
Yeah.
If you love the first one, you definitely should get it. If not, try it out and everything. But it's not a skip for you. You think everybody should at least try it out.
Unless you absolutely hated Destiny 1, and I mean like there was nothing about it you liked that you would even be there. If you don't like first person shooters, guess what? This isn't going to be your
It's
game.
not going to change your mind.
Yeah. If you didn't like the class system in Destiny 1, well, guess what? The class system's there again. You're probably not going to like that. If you just want like a fun shooter, if you want a game that you can play with your friends, it does have a loot grind, so if you're into grinding for loot like you do in Borderlands, that's there as well. But
Quick question. I know you didn't want to go over this, and I just need to know. My biggest complaint about Destiny versus Borderlands. If I'm a low-level character in Destiny, and I'm playing with my friends who are all high-level, I feel like I'm not doing anything because they're flying through the game for me, and I'm kind of just following them. I feel like Borderlands was always a little better with that. You know what I'm
okay,
saying?
I actually agree with that.
Is Destiny 2 kind of like that? Have you noticed that at all?
I played all of Destiny 2 so far by myself.
Really?
Yeah, I have not played with anyone.
No M-Dog or
Nope.
Steven?
I played with Steven for the first time last night.
Okay.
But I was already the max level, and he was starting fresh. So I didn't know how it would work, and I didn't want to ruin his experience. So I just started a new character to play with him, because you can have up to 3.
Nerdy.
So I started a new one. So I don't know how that feels. You know, if it just kind of feels like, oh, my friend's just running me can be.
See, I like that. You know what I mean? To go back to Borderlands, is one of the things I did really much like about it is if you wanted to grind through the game, you can. If you're getting stuck on a boss, call your friends up. They'll help you run through it, and then you can go right back to grinding the story by yourself. You know what I mean? Or if you didn't want your friends' help and you just weren't at a high enough level, do a bunch of side quests in Borderlands and kill some aliens, and you're going to level yourself up. So, but all right, man. Am I going to try Destiny 2 out? Well, let's see on next podcast.
All
All right, flashback and future. Hopefully not. I don't know.
Next up is a game that you and me actually both love. Witcher.
Is it Pokemon?
It's
Witcher.
Witcher. Yeah.
I love that game.
Now that game actually is in my top 10 RPGs. Probably in my top 5.
I would agree. Witcher is in my top 5. It's a great game.
Yeah, such a
And
good
I
RPG.
only played Witcher 3.
Yeah. Well, Witcher 3, I will say, is the best. It's such a rare thing to see a series only keep getting better. And Witcher is one of those series. But they sent out a video. Did you see it?
No, I did not.
They sent out a 10th anniversary video thanking everyone who played The Witcher. So we just took a quick break because I really wanted you to see it.
What? Magic? Somehow I seen the video now. That is so weird.
Yeah.
It's like I blinked and it happened. So that was really nice video, man. Kind of gave you a little feels there, buddy.
Yeah, it's really touching that a company would go out and thank the players. And they made a full in-game
Yeah, I agree. Kind of makes you realize that sometimes people really are out there to make an enjoyable game,
Yeah.
and they appreciate when people like it. You know, not everybody is a money crazy, juggernaut conglomerate that just wants everybody's cash.
Well, it's funny because apparently every time the Witcher game has sold, they've technically never made a profit because they've always used the money they've made to make the next game.
Word.
So I always thought that was amazing.
I'd say so.
But I thought it was really nice of them to just, thank their fans.
Tip their hats to
Yeah.
us.
And it kind of like when I first saw it gave me chills and almost brings a tear to your eye that like someone wants to thank you. That
People worked on that, programmed that, people came back
Yeah.
to do voices. You know what I mean? I agree. You know what? I say you're welcome.
I really wanted to take this moment though for us to thank CD Projekt Red for making
Oh.
such an amazing game.
I was going to pat myself on the back, but all right, sure. Yeah, guys, you did good. Made a great game. No, I'm kidding. That game was fantastic.
Yeah. I really look forward to see what else they make, and they're a company that so far I'm probably going to follow them. I'm probably going to be a loyal customer to whatever they come
I
out
agree.
with.
I agree.
Yeah.
I do enjoy it. And even looking at that little thank you video, I'm like, man, I really want to play The Witcher 3 again.
That's what always happens to me too.
It's really weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's almost like you're stuck in Wonderland.
Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? That's all I was just going to say. I don't know.
American McGee might be making a third Alice game.
First off, please explain to me, what is this craze about Alice in Wonderland?
I never understood it either.
Thank you.
personally.
Okay, and maybe I'm not. Like, I watched the films, I read the book, I played a game.
A game?
A game.
Only the first one, or did you play, or was it the second
Oh,
one?
I've never even played the American McGee one ever. You know what I'm talking
Really?
about? No, yeah.
Oh,
I heard they're good.
they are really good. That's why I'm
Um,
surprised that you didn't play them.
Yeah, nah, never. What did like PC or Xbox?
The first one was only on PC, but if you bought the second one, you got the first one digitally for the Xbox 360 or PS3.
Yeah, I think I played it.
The second one was really good. If you have a way of playing it, I would say definitely try it out.
Probably not.
But I'm actually pretty excited for this. Now, he's not saying that he's going to get it made. He's coming up with an idea to pitch to EA to have one made. And I think the reason why he did this was to show EA that people want it.
Very interested. Well, from what I understand, it's a cult classic kind of game. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? People that did play it were like, oh, crazy, you know. So I'm understanding it's Alice in Wonderland story told creepily. You know what I mean?
Yeah, very creepy.
With weird-looking versions of, the characters, and Alice is like a gothic chick.
And the combat is very similar to that of like Devil May Cry too.
Oh, I love Devil May Cry.
Yeah. And Bayonetta.
Ooh, I do love Bayonetta.
You sure you like Bayonetta?
I love Bayonetta, man. It's one of my favorite games.
Yeah, so it's definitely not the Alice that we know from the Disney or Kingdom Hearts.
This is true.
But I was pretty excited.
As
when
long
I
as it's
heard
not the
this.
Tim Burton one, because I hated that. Damn you, Tim Burton.
I like to pretend that one just didn't happen.
Well,
but
they made 2 of them. Are you kidding me?
it wouldn't surprise me if they go for a third.
It made money. Of course, they're gonna go for a third.
But yeah, I was pretty excited for this. I know you can't really say too much on it because you haven't
Well,
played
it's not
them.
that I can't. Like I follow the games. I've always really wanted to, especially the first one. I think the issue why I never played the second one is because I couldn't play the first one. But
Okay.
now finding out I could have if I had bought the second one makes a big difference. Oh, that sucks. So hopefully, with interest in the third one, maybe they'll put the first 2 up.
I'm hoping that they would re-put the first 2 up because while I don't think they sold amazingly, I'm assuming they at least sold okay or well enough for them to even for them to make a second one and even consider a third one if there was a pitch for it. But I would hope that they would re-release them both for the people that didn't play the first
Yes,
first or second.
because I would play them.
Would you
Yes,
again?
never. I never played them before. I'm gonna play them again. I feel like this is weird, and I just bring this up there. I feel like there's 2 kinds of people in the world. There's like the Alice in Wonderland people, and then the Wizard of Oz. I've always been a more Wizard of Oz kind of guy.
I've never been either kind of guy.
That's because you like Nintendo.
I'm not really on that road either.
Yeah, that's because you like Magic the Gathering.
I do like.
I got one. That's my one. There it is. There
Do you
it
like
is.
L.A. Noire?
I love that game, man.
Oh,
It's one of my. It was one of the I think it's one of the most underrated. I can't believe I never got a sequel to that game because I loved it. I loved everything about that game until the end.
Really?
Yes,
Would you play it again?
absolutely.
Well,
I would play it on PS4. I'd play it on Xbox One. Heck, I'd even play it on Nintendo Switch.
I'm glad you said that.
Why is that?
It's coming out for all three.
Shut the front door.
And I guess now you're going to buy it on all three. You just said it on the podcast.
That is, yeah, that might happen. No, I'm serious though. I did read this news. We were actually talking about it yesterday. A friend of mine had the birthday party I went to.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I really love that first game. I'm really excited to play it again.
I'm really excited to play it again too. I'm getting it on the PS4. So
Let me guess, because they upgraded the graphics on the PS4.
they did say it's 4K, but that's not even my thing. It's just I love trophies, and it really bothers me that Nintendo doesn't have anything.
That is so weird. Scott, a former guest we had on here, said the same thing. He loves trophies. The reason why he'll play games on PS4 is because of trophies.
Yeah,
They do nothing.
I know they do nothing.
You get more money.
They increase my digital genitalia.
Okay, why? Like, I don't care.
Here's why I like trophies. Although to you they do nothing, they add replay value to me. If I beat a game and I didn't get all the trophies, now I can look at that trophy list and be like, oh, okay, here's some more things that I can go back
the
and
only
do.
thing I like about trophies is when I play a game and I get a ridiculous trophy and I'm like, oh, somebody put that in the game. That was it. That's it. Only time. But okay, hey, to each their own, I guess. But what do you think of LA Noire? You think it's a good idea? It didn't sell well.
It didn't. So I'm curious if this is a way for Rockstar to test the waters to see if maybe they want to bring out a second one
Now,
or even work on a
are
second
we
one.
actually getting a physical release for this, or you think it's going to be digital only?
It didn't say.
Because Switch and everything else have been love doing this digital only. And be honest, Sonic Mania is probably one of the first big releases in a long time. They came out that was digital only, everywhere,
It wouldn't surprise me.
and
if
it killed in sales.
It wouldn't surprise me if they digital only, especially since it's such an easy way to, one, lower the price. You keep the price nice and low, because Hellblade is only digital. You can't buy that physically either, and it's only $30 for that reason. And they even came out and said if we ever did make it physically, the physical edition would be $60, because they have to pay for the disc, they now have to pay for the manufacturing.
Every time they release one of these, like re-release for like $20-$30, they do lose a lot of money because, you know what I mean, especially when they do a physical copy, because majority of what you're paying for on that is your case, booklet, shipping, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So
I wouldn't mind if they did digital only.
either would I. The only thing I would mind if I came out only digitally, obviously I can't get it on the Switch.
Yeah, that would eat up quite a bit of
It
memory.
would eat up quite a bit of memory on the Switch. And although I would love, if that's what I plan on getting this for, is the Switch, there's no way. It wouldn't make sense to me. It was a long game. It was a lengthy game, too.
Yeah.
Beautiful game, too.
It was what was it, 3 or 4 discs on the 360?
I think so. I got it on the PS3
PS3 it was 1 disc.
because of the Blu-ray.
Yeah, but I believe it was like 3 or 4 on the 360, because I played on 360 first, and then when my PS3 became like my main console, I re-got it again for the PS3, and I'm about to get it again for the PS4.
It is a fun game, though.
It is.
The faces were creepy, though, because they look so realistic. And that was the purpose of the game. For anybody who's never played, you played as a detective. And due to criminal solving and looking at different clues, crime scenes, and then reading people while you interrogate them, that means looking at their face, body language, all that, you had to deduce the entire crime and see if you figured it out. And I always really liked that about that game. I thought it was really cool that, you know, you could see if somebody was lying. You could call them out on lying if you thought they were. And nothing was better than driving from one crime scene to the next and then getting a random call that there was a bank robbery or something. I just love it.
Yeah, I agree. I also liked that after you investigated an area, it showed you if you got all the clues or not,
Yep.
and you were just kind of like, crap. What if? Because the way you interrogate people was based on what clues you picked up. So sometimes if you missed a clue or two, you were like, oh, am I going to have the clues I needed to prove that this guy
And you
did
could
it?
very well know who it was, and if you didn't have the clues necessary, they were walking away, man.
Yeah.
The only issue I have with that game, and if they do make a sequel, I hope they fix it. No matter what your results were from the case, the game progressed the same exact way.
Yeah.
That's my only complaint, because if you were someone like me that wanted perfection, so you started the game over and redid it until you got all the cases ready. It didn't matter if somebody played it and got every case wrong because they got the same ending, same results, same promotions, everything.
The only other complaint I personally had was it felt like they made an open world for no reason. You didn't really do anything in the open world other than
No.
drive from point A to point B.
Yeah, like I said, once in a while you would get the dispatch, and the only side missions really were if something was going like a bank robbery or a heist or something like that, which they were fun. They were really fun to get involved in these shootouts and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
you're right, that very well didn't have to be in an open world setting at all, because there was most of the time you're only exploring half of the city.
Yeah, exactly. Now you are getting all the DLC with the game. The PS4 and Xbox One versions are going to get increased graphics as well as 4K support. So if you have one of those pretty 4K TVs,
I do.
it will take advantage of that. The Switch version is not getting increased visuals. It will be the exact same look as the PS3 or 360. They didn't say which version. I would assume the 360 because back then the 360 stuff usually looked better than the PS3.
Usually.
However, it is getting HD Rumble. I don't know as to what that's even going to do because...
You know how, like, some of the clues in the game, you would have to, like, flip and look and stuff like that? I guarantee they'll do, like, the dice feel and stuff like that.
With your
they'll most
Joy-Con?
likely... with
That
the
would be
Joy-Con.
pretty cool.
I think that would be, because there was a lot of things in that where, like, you would have to feel the weight of something to see how it went or, you know, look at the... So, the first mission in it where you had to angle yourself just right to see the reflection of the gun in the window.
Yeah,
Stuff like that, so... That was a good game, man.
it was.
You got promoted from a beat cop to like a detective in it, and you felt like the bomb. Till the freaking
The
end.
bee's knees, as the kids are saying it now.
That would have been made one hell of a movie.
I honestly, it felt like a movie the whole time you're playing it.
Yeah.
It feels like the movie.
That was
especially the police commissioner.
Yes,
He had such a serious tone to him. I loved it.
that was a better Black Dahlia movie than the Black Dahlia movie.
I agree with that.
That's why I said it.
Oh, you're also.
And
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, I want you to talk because I like your face.
Did you like Okami?
Did I like Okami?
Yeah.
No.
The Capcom game that came out back on the PS2 and was re-released on
For
the
the
360.
Wii?
I believe it came on the PS2 first, then they re-released it on the Wii, and then they also re-released it on the PS3 and 360 and PC, and now they're re-releasing it again on the PS4 and Xbox One. No Switch version.
You asked me if I liked the game, and I said no. It's because I loved it.
Really?
Yeah.
I never played it.
Really?
Yes.
It's a very fun game.
It was one I missed out on, and it was funny because when I heard this news, I got excited because for once I think I'm actually gonna pick it up and give it a try.
It was a fun game. I think a little overrated.
That's what I'm afraid of.
It's very overrated. It's a simple game. And it doesn't even play like anything new. It plays like games you played before. It was an interesting concept, and that
Okay.
makes a difference. But it's a solid game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the best way I can compare it to Saints Row 1. You played this before. You played it 1,000 times with Grand Theft Auto. It was just a well-done rip-off of Grand Theft Auto. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, it's a fun game. I think you'll enjoy it. It's very beautiful.
I hope I enjoy it. Sometimes I've played games that a lot of people have hyped up after the hype, and I'm just kind of like, I don't get why you guys like this.
I do. You are a bit of a hipster, too. So, you know what I mean?
I am not, but okay.
Bottom of your pants are awfully tight.
I'm wearing shorts.
Am I wrong?
And then we had two more old games coming to the PS4 and Xbox One.
What games are those?
Bayonetta
Woo!
and Vanquish.
Woo! Vanquish was like Mega Man on steroids.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited for that because I never got to beat Vanquish, so I really would like to go back to it. And I never played Bayonetta 1.
I don't know how. First off, it's just Bayonetta 1.
I never played 2 either.
I know, it's just Bayonetta 1 getting re-released.
Yes.
That's what annoys me. This is why I will not be picking that up. Because as much as I love Bayonetta 1, 2 is better.
I feel like, though, I feel like Bayonetta 2 is probably still under contract with Nintendo.
Well, Nintendo financed that, so there's no way it's going anywhere, I think.
Well, it could, because Xbox did finance Rise of the Tomb Raider.
It's true.
So, it could go somewhere eventually. I just think maybe what Capcom was trying to do is test the waters to see if people even want it. Because let's be honest, Bayonetta 2, as great as the game as it was, got great reviews, did not still sell well because it was on the Wii U.
Because it was on the Wii U, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that was a big issue. Even if everybody bought it on the Wii U, it wouldn't have done well because it just wasn't a well-selling system. But I love Bayonetta. I'm also very excited for Vanquish. That's probably... And it was funny because Vanquish, when it first came out, didn't do excellent on reviews. It wasn't until people started discovering it later. They were like, this game is amazing. It really was, man. Duck and cover, slide into duck and cover.
It was definitely one of those hidden gems.
Yes.
Because I've always heard of people talking about it, but whenever I would look at reviews or, people who usually... Reviewers, I guess, I would just stick with that. I was going to try to think of something else. Game enthusiasts.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. But whenever I would hear them talk about it, they would say it's good, but, and then they would go on to their negative views of it.
And like I said, sometimes it gets caught in the mix, you know what I mean? Lost in the shuffle, you know what I mean? It was stuck in the cha-cha slide. And I feel like a lot of people now that will play this will be like, wow, this game is amazing. Because it was really fun. What I always like that, and I'll talk to you about what you said about Sonic, where Sonic has that fast momentum and it feels like it stops. I like Vanquish because if you get your speed going and start doing combos and flips and sliding into cover, you can make that game feel like it's one fast moment to the next. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people that live that high style life will enjoy it.
Okay.
Or if you like good games.
So, we just talked about 4 re-released games. What price do you think these games should be marked at?
In my opinion, re-releases should never go above 30.
Okay.
Never above 30. Be honest, if you're only getting one game, it should be $20 in my opinion, like the Resident Evils. If you're getting a collection, like the BioShock did or anything, $30.
Okay.
Never above 30.
Okay.
Usually they come out at 40 though.
I would say 40 to me is my highest point because some of them do come out at 60 and it's a little...
Yeah, BioShock did. I was furious.
BioShock came out at 60. Lego City Undercover, when that came out, 60. Mario Kart, 60. So there are some things that I'm kind of like, I don't feel like that should be 60. I do think the highest one, in my opinion, on this list is LA Noire. That should be 30. Everything else should be 20 or lower. I think Okami, personally, should probably be 15 at this point, maybe even 10. It's a PS2 game that you've just remastered. I don't think there's too much you can really do to it. It's not like you're completely remaking the game like the Shadow of Colossus that we're getting again.
Oh, I can't wait for that. I forgot that was coming out.
Yeah.
Woo, Shadow of Colossus was so good.
I can't wait for that either.
We should make a video for the podcast of you climbing me to find my weak point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People would like that because that's about the size difference between us is Colossus to little person with a horse.
Just remember who always won those fights.
Yeah, and destroyed the world to bring back a dead girlfriend that might not even been a good person. So, anybody ever ask how she died? Because it's the way I picture it. She was murdering children, and the police shot her. Okay, and then you, who were accomplished, was like, "I'm not letting this go. I'm bringing her back so we can murder more children." Okay.
Okay. Which one are you picking up? Any of these? You picking up all of them?
Picking them all of them, except for Bayonetta.
Okay.
Just because I played that game.
Now, what if they
times.
say, depending on the sales of this Bayonetta 1 on the PS4 and Xbox One, determines Bayonetta 2 coming to the consoles?
You know what? Actually, I would like,
it?
because I do want to play Bayonetta again. I did really like that game, so I might actually. But you know, I probably pick them all up. I'm running my mouth. I'm saying I'm not gonna do it. You know what I mean? It's like when they re-released Final Fantasy 12 and you were buying it. And I was like, I'm not getting it. And then I walked up to the counter and put it on the counter. I'm like, I'm not buying this. And I walked home with it inside the bag and got it and put it in my PlayStation. I'm like, I'm not playing this. And then I finished the game and I was like, I enjoyed it. So things happen.
Yeah.
I can run my mouth all day. They see that if I walk by and see Bayonetta on the marketplace, and I'm like, you know what? I love that game. So, you know what was nice about Bayonetta? Over sensual game, but they used it in the story and it made sense of why she was like that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I've really appreciated that about the game. If you're going to give every teenage boy what he wants on screen, at least give me a story of why it's like that. You know what I mean?
for when we're adults.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Everybody makes some jokes about, like, armors on game. Like, the more skimpy the armor is for a female, the better stats it is. And,
Which
you know what
makes
I mean?
no sense.
It makes no sense. But what I always liked about Bayonetta is the way they explained her, like, over-sensuality is she's a witch. You know what I mean? They're all about enticing people and bringing them to their cause. And that's why she's like that, you know what I mean? Just always a flirt and everything like that. And I was like, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Plus, it's a cool game. And she has guns on her feet.
I don't even know how she pulls the trigger for those.
Strong calf muscles. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think that's what it is? She
I have
flexes
no
her
idea.
calves?
That's what
Or-
bothers her outfit. And
You think
would have
there's a
been-
toe ring that leads all the way up to one of her toes?
No, because you know her outfit's hair, right?
I did know that.
Yeah, so I'm
You
sure.
told me before.
Yeah, it's connected probably to, like, you know, her hair, because that's all her weapons, even her blades and all that, all hair.
Huh.
Yeah,
Interesting.
and like when she does like certain moves, if you look up, like she'll like make this huge thing come out. If you look, she gets naked for a second because it all comes up into like a T-Rex head or something like that.
Oh, okay, okay.
Most Paul's parts in video games, you know what I mean? Bayonetta special moves. oh, people were sad. Anyway,
Yeah, let's continue before someone gets a charge.
you know what I'm saying?
And before this podcast goes from PG-13 to...
R-rated.
Yeah.
It's a straight up X.
Yeah.
Adult only. Hot coffee mod. You know what I'm talking about.
Bethesda apparently has another game coming out this year that we have no idea about.
What is it?
We don't know. But a lot of people went crazy over it, and then Bethesda came out and said, yeah, it might not come, you know, we might not have a game.
Have they become that big where they could just say game and people lose their mind?
I guess so. So what I think happened was, I think everyone thought, oh, we're getting the next Elder Scrolls. Oh, we're getting that. There was a Star Citizen game they talked about. I don't remember. Remember, it was kind of rumored to be at E3. It wasn't there. So a lot of people thought, oh, maybe it's that.
Mm-hmm.
I think what I really think it was, and this is why I think they went on Twitter to kind of backtrack a little. I think it's going to be a mobile game that a lot, you know, because they did do Fallout Shelter, which was the mobile game, and I think what happened was a lot of people like that. They wanted to say that they had another game coming this year, just to, you know, kind of be like, hey, we still have more than what we showed you at E3. And I think people's expectations ran away, and they were like, we need to settle this down now before we release this game. And people are like, that's what you
know,
get me?
and I don't mean to talk bad about Bethesda because I do enjoy the Fallout series.
Uh-huh.
I loved Elder Scrolls Oblivion. You know what I mean? It was a great game. My issue with them is I feel like a lot of people think this company does no wrong. You know what I mean? Like, they can just release anything. People like it's golden because, you know I had like how many patches did Fallout get?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and I still had glitches when I was playing it. I waited a month.
They are notorious for having very glitchy games. And for some odd reason, they always get a pass. It's like...
People forgive them.
And well, people always say it's part of the charm. They're like, oh, I like the glitches. Why? I'm going to assume that that's your child.
I'm going to assume there's just weirdness, a lot of crying going on. All right.
But, why did it sound like someone was gargling?
I know, it was really weird.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
Bethesda, back to
Yeah.
them. It's just, it's weird. Okay, well, to me, it's weird that they can just say another game, and people are, you know.
Just
For
rubbing your
those who
nipples.
can't see, I rub my nipples.
Rubbing
You
nips.
know, like, what other company can do that? You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of companies that would attempt that, people would lose their mind and say how dumb
I
that
do
is.
think there are very few companies. Rockstar is definitely one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Rockstar could be like, we're coming out with a game, people would go crazy.
But I feel like Capcom couldn't do that. If Capcom did that, people would be like, well, what is it, Capcom? Huh?
Yeah.
Is it Street Fighter 75?
Oh,
What do
I
you
bet
want?
it's another Resident Evil.
Okay, yeah, you know what I mean?
Oh, not even an actual new one. It's going to be an HD remake.
I feel like if they were like Square Enix did it, you know what I mean? People are like, what is it, huh? Pocket version of Final Fantasy 12 now? Oh, like,
Yeah.
so, you know.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I am a Square Enix fanboy. I do really like Square Enix.
Don't get me wrong, they're great.
But I agree. I do think most people would be like, yeah, I don't really care what you're coming out with.
But, you know, it's just unfair to me. That's all. That's all.
I think Naughty Dog is another company. I think they've kind of earned it, though, after Uncharted and The Last of Us. I think it's mostly because of the Last of Us that they've gotten the hype that they've gotten now.
That's a great game.
Yeah.
I shared it the other day.
I saw.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Good job.
I wanted to let you fans know I did it for you, and not because I was trying to reinstall Borderlands and I needed 20 minutes. Okay? That's not why I did it. I did it for you guys.
What a jerk.
Okay? And even if it somehow did reinstall in that time, I at least finished the one cutscene where I killed the guy for you guys until I turned it off.
I actually started recording something that will go up tonight. I'm going to put it up. Battle Chasers. Night War. It's an RPG. I'll show you it when we're done.
You're a nerd? I don't know what you want me to say. What do you want from me, Zabo? You're a nerd, you know? I get it.
You're welcome.
So, you know what I'm saying? You play Magic the Gathering, you know what I'm saying? You used to buy Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Who did it?
You did.
I said who did it, not I didn't.
You think I forgot about them Yu-Gi-Oh days used to come in?
I
Well, let me
wasn't-
get some of those Yu-Gi-Oh
I didn't
cards.
even have glasses back then.
And
First
then
off.
the worst thing about it was, like, at least some people would be ashamed and, like, pretend like they didn't come in for Yu-Gi-Oh cards. They'd be like, oh, yeah, let me get a couple of those while I'm here. You would be proud. You'd march in there. That pack and that pack and that one. Like, wow. All right, man. I'm sorry. I thought about it. Like
I was in middle school.
I was like 2 weeks ago. I thought about it. I was like, wow, I used to buy some mad Yu-Gi-Oh card packs.
I did.
I apologize. Go ahead.
Anyway, let's get to our last news topic. South Park.
Oh, man. Is the game still coming out?
It is still coming out.
When's it come out?
I don't remember.
It's like November, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Unless it got pushed again.
What's it called again?
Fractured Butthole.
All right. And for those who don't understand, okay, it is actually saying fractured, but it's still whole. But the way it words it sounds like fractured butthole.
Mm-hmm.
Because
To
they're
play
South
on
Park.
words.
It's because they're South Park, super inappropriate. Do you remember the episode where what's his face made Eric buy his pubes? And Eric ended up like going like real crazy, had his parents killed,
Oh, was it? Yeah.
and made him eat his own parents. That was one of the most terrifying. I'm sorry, I don't know why that popped in my mind the other day. I was like, what an awful episode.
That was a really scary one.
Yeah.
I also love the human centipede one. I feel like no one ever thinks of that one, but it's so great because Kyle gets his mouth sewn to another man's asshole, and then they're trying to figure out how Apple can do this, and they said it's in the terms and agreements that you agree, the terms and conditions that you agree to. So Butters goes home and he reads the terms and agreement, and he's like, "You hereby state that you are willing to have your mouth sewn to a man's anus and possibly have a man's mouth sewn to your anus." And Butters was like, I think I'll hit decline. I just love that he had to think about it. Like, it wasn't a, nope, not doing it. It was,
South Park. And all your money's gone. Sorry, that's a good episode.
Anyway. So they came out.
It's, first off, before we get on to this, is South Park known for their controversy?
Oh, absolutely.
So they don't like to shy away from things.
Oh, no.
All right. Let's hear what they're up to now.
So apparently the game's difficulty will be behind the color of your character's skin. The whiter you are, the easier the game is.
Wow.
The darker you are, the harder the game is.
That got real.
I honestly thought that was kind of funny.
It is funny. It is a brave thing for them to do. Because I don't know if you did this. They did a study like 3 years ago when Grand Theft Auto 5 first came out.
Mm-hmm.
And people have proven it over and over with gameplay that Franklin gets attacked and pulled over by the police more than any other character. But Rockstar denied that it has anything to do with that. That it's just a coincidence that it happens. You know what I mean? So, and obviously it isn't. Obviously they programmed it that Franklin's just going to get harassed by the cops more because he's black. For a game to up and just do it and then be like, yeah, we did it. So...
It's South Park, though. When I read this, I wasn't shocked, but I was still shocked.
It is a shocking thing, because first off, anybody that knows me knows when I make a creative character in the game, I automatically make them black every time.
Not this time.
Wow! Like, it's gotta be...
You're making a pasty ginger.
So, do you think that's brave?
I think it's something. It's crazy. I do think, one, it's not going to hurt the sales of this game. You know why? Because it's South Park anyway, so the people that are buying this game are fans of South Park. No one's going to look at this and go, I don't know what the South Park's all about. Maybe I'll pick this up.
I was thinking about it, and then I thought about it, and I was like, wait a minute. There was a Jew class in the first game.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're not afraid. And it was a real class, man. And when you clicked on it, you got the thing, the yarmulke and all that, and you put your hands up like, oh, and I was like, wow, they really put that in the game. So.
And there's a trophy to play as a Jew and find Jesus. Because Jesus plays hide and seek.
Yeah. So, well.
Well, it looks like for the first time ever, I will be making a black character. Because I do feel like, one, there's going to be a trophy tied to it. There's going to be a trophy saying something about Black Panther. Guarantee it. Get it because of superheroes?
Mm-hmm.
You do not look happy over there.
It's not that I'm not happy. I'm just legit shocked. You know what I mean? That one, the first person to kind of break this controversy of what reality really is like is South Park. The second is they were so proud. Yeah. So it doesn't change combat or anything. But if you play as a black guy, you won't be able to make the same amount of money, like in real life. Like, wow, okay. That's characters will interact with you differently. Oh, and one of them compared it to, like, you might get followed around in the store when you're in there. Wow, okay, well that happened.
That's so great.
So, still picking the game up, though.
Oh, absolutely.
The first one was amazing. I'm really excited about it.
I love the show, too.
It's a show, and not only that, one of the things I really liked about the first one, and I'm hoping this one has that same magic, it was so cool to actually see South Park, to be able to go anywhere in the city. And I watched so much about it, how hard it was for the developers to make it, because the show itself has made mistakes.
They've never mapped the city out.
And put things in different locations than they should have been different times. And they did as best they can. I feel like it was so beautifully mapped. And you could literally walk anywhere in the game, and it was awesome. So... And every reference, any character that was in that game,
was referenced at some point.
You know what I mean? And that was really awesome.
I thought it was amazing. So much fun. But
and if that's what they release, I can just wait to some of the humor that's going to be in the game or some of the jokes. The best parts of the first one is, oh, you want to be called dog shit? And you click no, okay, dog shit. Like, that was my Eric impression. Not really great.
No matter what, you were called douchebag. So douchebag.
So, alright, that's what you want to be called.
I was actually really frustrated the first time I was doing it because I was like, no, that's not my name. I was like, you're douchebag? No.
Are you sure? And they'll let you click no again. Okay.
It was really clever though because that's how Eric is. So it's funny because like you're sitting there, you're like, this is my character name. Guess what? We're never going to use it, so we don't have to worry about having those weird, awkward characters that only use text.
That's right. All right.
So you're still excited for it, though?
Absolutely.
This doesn't stop anything?
No, I think it's interesting. I think, if anything, like you said, it won't hurt sales. It might get a little controversy behind it. Maybe it might piss Hillary Clinton off again. You know what I'm saying? So.
Now, one of my questions now for you is, are you going to be black?
Yeah.
Or are you going to make a little Spanish kid?
I'm going to stay true, my brother. I'm going to play as a black guy. That's what I do. I play black. Right.
When I'm throwing money at the strippers and you ain't got nothing to just get rid of.
You know what I mean? It's gonna happen. That's life. You know.
I wonder how the story may affect that. Like if there are story characters that are gonna be like, "What? I don't want to talk to you."
Could be. Could be.
Anyway, let's get on to the enthusiast pick and wrap it up.
That is your turn this week.
It is my turn.
What do you got this week?
Oh, I got something good.
Really?
Real good.
All right.
It's gonna be a good one.
I never liked one of yours, so let's hear.
What?
You're a nerd. It's weird.
Did you even try any of mine?
I've read a little bit of the book Invincible he recommended.
And you didn't like it?
It was My Hero Academia with a white guy.
My Hero Academia already has a white guy.
He's Asian. Okay.
All Might's from Texas.
Good point. Yeah, you're right. Weird, an Asian Texas guy.
All right. Anyway, my enthusiast pick's actually going to be XCOM. After playing so much Mario Rabbids and then I completely stopped, I am super excited to get back into XCOM, and I really think people need to give it a try if you hadn't played it yet.
Now, XCOM is about an alien invasion.
XCOM is an alien invasion.
And what year does the game take place in?
Actually, I do not remember, to be honest with you. The second game takes place after the first game, as if you lost the war. So aliens rule the planet Earth.
Okay, so the first one is during the invasion.
Yep.
Second one's as if you lost the war.
Yep. So the second one is you fighting back, trying to take back the
A
planet.
resistance.
Yep.
Kind of like that show in Sci-Fi, Fallen Skies.
I didn't see Fallen Skies, but I'll say sure.
Sure, agree with it.
Yeah.
Okay, and it is the tactical turn-based RPG, kind of like Fire Emblem and
Very similar to Mario Rabbids.
Mario Rabbids. So you can have sniper characters and stuff like
Yep.
that. But once a character dies in that game, they stay dead.
Yep. Much like in Fire
Dun,
Emblem.
dun, 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 dun. Does that play?
No.
What do the aliens look like?
Some of them look human because they've taken human form.
Okay.
Some of them look like the classic aliens. Some of them look like mud monsters.
I really realized the game is very black and whitish.
What do you mean?
Very dark colors.
Yeah.
That consistently through the game?
There's some neon colors in the cities. So if you're in a city, there's a lot of neon colors due to the lighting and stuff like that.
Now, the main character you play as, I guess...
You're the commander.
All right.
So-
If he dies, the game's over.
There is no physical form for the commander. You are the commander. So you're the guy telling everyone on the ground where to go and what to do. That is why the game is laid out the way it is. They're saying you're the eye in the sky.
So where are you located?
You
Where
are
the game?
always at like your base of operations.
Mother base.
Yes.
So you're Solid Snake.
Well, wouldn't you be more of like Big Boss?
Oh, you're Otacon.
Why would-
Revolver, Ocelot, Sniper. Well, I don't know. I'm just saying Metal Gear characters now.
One of my favorite things to do, though, is make my friends. So I will be making my friends in the game and watching you miss your shots horribly. I made you in Darkest Dungeon. That's what I used for episode, I believe it was like 38 for the gameplay. I made you, and then you died. I'm sorry. And once you die in Darkest Dungeon, you die.
Well, that's crazy.
Well, let's hope that doesn't repeat in
That's
XCOM.
crazy. I like to take your me that we made and put him in Mario Kart and then race, but not let you play. So I beat you and lap you over and over. So, but you lived at least.
Oh, is that your favorite thing to do?
That is my favorite thing to do.
Well, at least that's
Well, that is a great pick, man.
Thank you.
There's no way I'm going to talk about that in like 3 to 4 weeks. You know what I mean? As in something, that I would never try. But hey, if you guys like, Fire Emblem and you want a little more realistic feel to it, you know what I mean? Actual weapons, combat, aliens, invasions, check out XCOM.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or just play a game that we recommend because we're good people,
So, this has been episode 40.
Is it been 40?
Yeah.
I don't think you're right.
No, I am. I'm not wrong, I'll tell you that. This has been episode 40 of The Enthusiast.
We've almost been doing this for a year.
Almost. It's getting there. So please, feel free to hit that like button.
Absolutely.
Make
Should they subscribe?
Absolutely.
Subscribe.
The real question is, why aren't you already
You know what I mean? We got about 30 some of you people that love to listen to us on the daily. And according to SoundCloud, we have hundreds of you that love to listen to us daily. The question is, where are you when everybody else subscribes to The Enthusiast? You don't want to be that guy that's left behind in the year 2020 when we're running everything because The Enthusiast took off. You don't want to be that guy to be like, oh, I jumped in on 2018. You know what I mean? That's when everybody's there, like the bandwagon. Be ahead of the curve.
Any shot you don't take is always a miss.
Thanks, man.
Let me just say that. But if it's XCOM, even if it says it's a high percentage, it's probably a miss.
Yeah, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
So anyway, also you can follow us on Facebook, SoundCloud, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube.
Yep. Oh, yes, yeah.
Once again, always look forward to our Twitch videos of some random gameplay that we'd love to throw out and play, especially when we're waiting for games to install. If you guys have any comments or questions, go ahead and hit them in the comments below. You can always email us or hit us up on Facebook. And, feel free to insult Zabo. He likes it. Comes around for it.
I don't.
You know what I mean? Tell him to meet you somewhere, and then don't show up for 40 minutes.
No, I don't want to be spoken to that way.
He loves it. You guys want to do it, and he loves it.
This has been episode 40 of The Enthusiast, and we are gone.
Peace.
Though its exact location remains unknown. Time is short, Commander. We need you to take charge of Resistance operations throughout the world. Establish contact with the local cells and bring them into the fold. Find this black site and shut it down. Save our world. The clock is ticking.